You've got it tuned to KEXP, listener-powered radio, 90.3 FM in Seattle, online round the world at kexp.org. I'm Cheryl Waters. It is my great pleasure to welcome our dear friends Cloud Cult back into the KEXP studios. Welcome. It's wonderful to see you all.
Happy to be back.
It's always too long between visits, no matter how frequently you come in.
Every time we see you, it's like yesterday. Like, oh, there's Cheryl.
I know. Isn't time have that weird elasticity to it?
Yeah.
Well, how about a couple songs? I love the new album, no pun intended, and I can't wait to hear you perform some of these songs live. Again, the name of the album is Love, and it's Cloud Cult Live in studio.
I call up the moon for a little consultation. Yes, you know that I'm a happy man, but something in me's burning. Gotta push it out, push it out, push it out. So much frustration. The moon called me back and said, I'll give you some advice. You gotta live a little lighter, gotta breathe a little deeper, gotta suck it in, suck it in. There's your medication. That you adore. Some days you give thanks, some days you give the finger. It's a complicated creation. delicious if it don't make us insane. You have a calling. You have a calling. You have a calling.
Cloud Cult live on KEXP. That sounds so good. You guys, amazing. So great to have you in studio today. You make it sound like magic.
Thanks, Cheryl.
And it is so full of love. That's the name of your new album. And tonight you play at the Neptune here in Seattle. And I do want to talk about the new record and what you've been up to. But I want to know what's going on at the farm. What's the state of your farm these days and what's new there and what's going on there?
Well, it's going to be a good year. 2013 is like really building up the farm because we moved from Minnesota to Wisconsin 3 years ago when we had our son, and then we had a daughter a little over a year ago.
Congratulations!
So, but so they toured with us on the first half of this tour, and it just hasn't been super easy to farm with a 1-year-old and 3-year-old in each arm. So
you were pretty dug in Minnesota. You'd created kind of a nice place out there with studio and, of course, all the work that you could do with the earth. What precipitated the move to Wisconsin? I did know that you had moved a few years ago. Was that a family decision to be near family? And what's it like? I imagine you still want to have the same kind of lifestyle. So what's it like creating something new there? And what's the stage of that?
It's great. We mostly moved for family because we had our son, and the place in Wisconsin is really close to both of our families, or closer than we were before. So, and we want the kids to know grandma and grandpa, and so that was a big part. And then the town that we moved to, Viroqua, Wisconsin, is a really progressive small town. It's the home of Organic Valley, and so they've taken a lot of the conventional farmers around there and converted them to organic, and it's kind of drawn this really artistic community in the sense that we're constantly running into people from like Chicago or New York or Minneapolis or out here that are choosing that town because it's just a really small, progressive, open-minded town. So we like the small townness and we like the smallness.
It sounds idyllic. And now, have you set up a home studio at your new place as well? And is that where this record was made?
Yep, the whole Love album was done there, other than the drums we did in Minneapolis. And Jeff Johnson, our sound engineer that tours with us, helped out with engineering this album too.
And that's new for you. You had always done that yourself, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's always been on my own, and I think it was really, really helpful in this process because I usually, I start working on the album and it's a couple year course, and when it gets into its final stages, it was really nice to have another pair of ears to say, what about this and this and this? And that's usually the point where my ears are starting to fry and I don't hear some of those things. So I think that it turned out to be a really great relationship, and he's got a really strong spiritual core too, so we're able to really keep each other charged in the messaging.
I know a couple times along the way in the last couple years or in the last few years, and I'm assuming coinciding with having the children, that you've tried to kind of step back and take a little bit of a break. Was that successful, or do you find yourself still writing and working even during that time?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of scoring work, so between Light Chasers, our last album, and this one, I did 11 hour-long documentaries with National Geographic, and that's a big joy because they want it in the vein of Cloud Cult, so they say just have freedom with it and do what you want to do, and that's been great. But as far as touring, yeah, we've cut it back quite a bit, and I think it's been really beneficial for us as a band, because then when we go out, like tonight, we're gonna be just full force energy, and we're not fried from the road. We're ready to just really focus on the fans and the stories that we've heard, and a lot of people going through a lot of challenges.
I guess that distinction makes sense, that when you're taking a break, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not working at home, but more not being out on tour and doing that. Because I keep reading things or interviews with you where you're like, we're going to take a break, and then the next thing I know, there's some great output from you. I mean, you have so many records, you've consistently put out records, and I can't even imagine how many songs that you must have backlogged. And when you start to put together an album like this one called Love, which seems to have a theme, do you start from scratch, or because you've got kind of, I'm going to guess, a theme going with a name like Love and listening to the lyrics, or because I imagine you have so much music, kind of in the hopper, do you draw from the past, or is it kind of something fresh every time?
This one took a lot of sculpturing to get to the theme level. With Light Chasers, I knew the theme pretty much once I was a couple songs in. I knew what the theme was and started to write it from there. And this one kind of went through a lot of different personalities. And it's the 10th Cloud Call album. It's the 9th that you can actually buy. The first one we don't have available anymore. But so I really wanted it to kind of bookend in a way and look back on the past work and have something that was new but honored the journey that came before. And I think so much of the songwriting process and album creation process is a spiritual journey, and trying to figure out, why are we here? Why am I waking up again today? And what's the big picture? And what am I supposed to do with this blessing of another day? And there's so many past albums. Once I went back and looked at sort of like the answers that came through the music, and it was always just sort of this wake up and get in the present moment and cherish the people around you, and you don't know if you have another moment, and it's gotten to be this cliche kind of thing, but you have to have a mantra of that throughout your day, every day, to wake up again and again, wake up, wake up, wake up, because it just becomes this sort of co-pilot thing, and another day is gone, and we're healthy, and we have beautiful people in our lives, and we want to appreciate this moment now.
Well, that message definitely comes through in the new album. Again, it's called Love. Tonight, Cloud Cult plays at the Neptune Theater here in Seattle, and we are so proud to have them all live here in studio today and ready to play a couple more songs.
Life is so strange, in need of sense of humor. The maker is half caretaker and half joker. We are not broken ones, just shattered pieces of the same bright sun, trying to figure out which way to run, and we can't do this alone. When I'm underground, life is a playground, but it takes a lot of work. So you better learn to love her, it'll tear you apart. 'Cause in the end we are measured by the size of our heart. So we can't do this alone. Some of us are laughing, while some of us are choking. Some of us can't change till every bone has been broken. All the while the maker just sits there choking. You never really were alone. All I need is a good, good friend. Thank you for being around.
Magnificent. Cloud Cult live on KEXP. The new album, Love. Tonight they play at the Neptune here in Seattle. Tomorrow at the Aladdin Theater down in Portland. And then what's ahead for you?
We head down to San Francisco,
Nice.
LA, and San Diego.
Nice. And you have some summer shows coming up?
Yeah, we're doing festivals over the summer, but again, taking some time to hang with the kids and focus on really getting the farm going.
I like to hear that. It's fun to see this band, though, on a sunny day, definitely outdoors.
Yeah, and then we'll be back here with you in, September or something like that.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. And have you got the visual element on plan tonight?
Yep, Scott West will be painting on stage. Connie, my wife, did the whole first half of the tour, and that was a lot for the kids, so they're taking a little breaky poo.
That's nice. Great. Well, this band is always an audio-visual delight tonight there at the Neptune Theater. A big thank you to Cloud Cult here on KEXP Seattle.
Thank you, Cheryl.